Fantastic. Thank you, Therese, so much. That was great. Next up, we have Heather Morgan. Heather is on staff here at the Rock Church as well. She handles all of our graphics. She's on our video team. A lot of stuff you've seen on our screens even this weekend. She's had her hand in. And today she's going to be talking to you about the courage to believe. Let's give it up for Heather.
Hey, I'm so excited that I get to talk to you guys today, and I just have 5 short minutes, so I don't want to waste any time. I want to get straight into it, and I so wanted, before I started though, I wanted to be able to honor Pastor Suzette and Pastor Judith and Pastor Kirk. I wanted to give props to our dude team and the people who built these letters. I just don't have time though. I'm not even going to mention it. I'm not bringing it up. I don't have the time, but if I did have the time, I would mention all of that. So I want to tell you guys a story today, and this story actually starts in 1621, so buckle your seatbelts. This story is about a man named William Brewster, and you may or may not know who William Brewster is, but more than likely, he has had an impact on your life. Now, William Brewster was one of the original pilgrims who came over to the United States in 1621, and they, of course, we know, were coming over here to escape spiritual, religious persecution. And so he came over believing for a freer country, to start a new thing. And actually, this group of people who he came over with actually started the Baptist Church, which has had a huge impact on the spiritual history of our nation, which is so cool. And you might be wondering right now, why is she telling us this? Why is this interesting to her? This is interesting to me because William Brewster is actually a great ancestor of mine. He is like my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather on my mother's side. So he is part of my lineage, my history. So when I think about him, I put myself in his shoes. He's living in England, and he's going to move to this country, into this unknown place. Now, if I was moving to a new country, I would be doing all sorts of research. I'd be all over the internet. I would be on Google. I'd be looking at maps. I'd be looking up local customs. What are the people like? I'd probably pick out my grocery store and make sure that I could get a bank account and a cell phone set up. He had none of that. He could make no plans. All he knew was he was being called from God to move into this unknown place. And so when I think about that, I can only imagine the amount of faith that he must have had and the amount of conviction that he must have had going into this, and the amount of faith-filled prayers that he sowed as he was traveling and believing beyond what he could see right in front of him, with no idea the impact that he would have. Because let's not discount this. Let's not discount how much of the unknown he was traveling into. Because it's easy to look back now and go, the United States is a Christian nation. We're predominantly Christian here. But he didn't know that that was going to be the end result of his move of faith. And so it's easy to look back and think about that. And so he, I'm sure, was sowing so much prayer into this country, and so much prayer into the descendants of his that would come into me 400 years later. So I look now at my family, that side, and I look at them and I realize I can't figure out anybody on that side of the family who's not saved, who doesn't know Jesus. And as I look around at that side of the family, I see us one by one getting called into ministry. I'm in ministry here at this church. My mom's in ministry. One of her brothers is in ministry. Another one's trying to become a missionary. And my cousins on that side, they're just changing their careers left and right to go into ministry. So I believe that the prayers that were sowed so long ago for his descendants are still manifesting in my family today. And so that challenged me because he could have just been praying like, God, get us somewhere where we won't be persecuted. But I think he was believing bigger than that. He was praying bigger than that. And so now I'm challenged, like, what am I praying for? Am I praying for the immediate? Now I pray this prayer all the time. God, can you help me find my keys? Like every day, every day. So am I praying for the immediate though, or am I praying for the eternal? Like, am I sowing seeds that I will never, ever see manifested? Or am I just praying for right now? Am I praying for God to bless my plans? Or am I praying for his will to be done in generations to come? And so I was just so challenged thinking, about what William Brewster must have believed for. So it made me think, what are the size of my prayers and what is the size of my God? Because if I'm praying little prayers, that means my God's little. If God can only find my keys, he's only as big as, I mean, really, I could probably find them by myself. Well, probably not. But if I'm praying big prayers, then that means to me, I have a big God. So I want to challenge you today, like, what do you have the courage to pray for? Are you praying for your own comfort? Are you praying for healing and restoration in your life? Are you just worried that that kid of yours is never going to turn it around? Or are you praying that they will be radically changed and for a radically different future for them? So how big is your God? Let's take courage. Let's believe. Let's believe big. Let's believe extravagant because of how big and how extravagant our God is. Thank you.